Edinburgh is green as Hibs fire themselves into the top three of the Scottish Premiership. They won't be looking back. It's been a disaster of a weekend for Fog football, but you know what? I don't hide. So here we are talking about Hibernian 2, Hearts 1. A tale of two halves. I thought Hearts were the better team in the first half, and Hibs were the better team in the second half. Much better team. I actually thought Hearts were kind of pathetic in the second half. They didn't really create anything. But that's Hibs. 15 now unbeaten. Their best run since 1949. I mean, that's 76 years ago. That's that's an insane amount of time. That's crazy, and also the first time that they've beat. I think the first time they've completed a league double, or at least won at least two games over Hearts since the 09, 08, 09 season. That's too long ago for Hibs, man. They should be looking to do better than that, right? But yeah, I don't think many people can complain. If you're a Hibs fan, you can't complain. I tell you what, next weekend they've got Celtic Park. I can't think of a team better equipped right here, right now in Scotland to hit a defeat. Pick up a victory at Parkhead and hit Celtic with a defeat. So that'll be a very interesting game. But let's get into this game, shall we? And tell you what, straight for the get go, absolutely horrific defending for Gerald Taylor. Rangers made this guy look like a world beater. They made this guy look like Cafu on the opening day of the season. Obviously, a lot's happened since then. Just gets completely, physically outdone by Martin Boyle, which shouldn't be happening. It's a great finish for Boyle. He puts it into the back of the net, 1-0, but quicker than you can say. Gerald Taylor, I guess. George Grant up the other end connects on the half volley, 1-1. And I tell you what a finish into the back of the net this is. Hearts just making a nuisance of themselves. Getting in Hibs' faces straight away. Bouncing back. Critchley will be absolutely buzzing the fact that they bounced back here. And then I thought Hearts took control of the game. We've seen Shankland, he had a shot saved. I did think Jordan Smith should have done a wee bit better on this one. Kabungu scores an offside goal. Great goal. I actually had to build a bit. I did Boyle to score and this guy to score and a few other things. But this was offside. Ryan McGowan and the other guy on commentary were like, oh, once they draw the lines, I'm sure this will be close. And literally by the time they finished their sentence, Ian Crocker had turned around and said, oh, it's been disallowed, which I thought was pretty funny, but correct decision. I don't think anyone's going to dispute that. Nicky Cadden then picks up the ball, looking like Batman with his mask, fizzes it across the 6-yard line. Boyle couldn't get on it, but I do believe he was offside. Shankland then tackles Nicky Cadden, gets up, John Beaton blows the whistle, and then Shankland boots the ball out of play and gets booked. A needless booking. Then he tried to claim that he was booting the ball back to the position where John Beaton gave the free kick. I don't think that's particularly to Lawrence Shankland, but that took us into half time. Hearts, the better team, but nothing to show for it. But here, I think the fact that they were going in one each after conceding so early was probably a good thing for them. Then we got a half-time interview with Lawrence Shankland. I don't like these half-time interviews, man. They're crap. You know what I mean? Because Shankland's literally, I guess in a sense, Shankland's literally been booked 15 seconds prior. And he's very heated. But he kept it cool, calm and collected. And I think there is potential for these half-time interviews to completely go off the rails. But, these days everyone's PR trained and things like that. So it didn't go... It could have went a lot worse, put it that way. Blair Spittle, he has a corner that's tipped over the top of the bar. Gerald Taylor then has a very clumsy push on Cadden. This could have been given for me. They were hinting in commentary that it couldn't have been given. It would have been soft. You would have been soft, yes, but he's pushing him with his hands to the floor and he falls over him. Some teams would get this decision, some might not. Just depends who's on fucking Far, because we're going to put a poll up. I think Far needs scrapped. This isn't a horrific decision, but just look at the last couple of weeks. Look at this season, man. There's a Yellow Pages catalogue in terms of Far fuck ups, man. Crazy. Hearts though hit the counter straight from it, and Kabungu misses it. Mariah Welsh, who I believe they said scored his only Hibs goal against Peter Heath earlier on this season, can't quite fire this in. Chris Cadden then has a shot saved. Boyle volleys wide. At this point, it's all Hibs. Hibs are dominating. Hearts can't look for a way out. They can't get anything. And then Lawrence Shankland lets Aradale get a couple of yards, and I tell you what, this goal was a thing of beauty. It really was. Obviously, if you're a Hearts fan, right, and if you don't want Hibs to win, you're going to be like, nah. But this was a great goal. The technique, the placement, the finish. I mean, dare I say it's goal of the season? It's just one of those goals that's aesthetically pleasing. It was very, just the dip on it, and it completely beat Craig Gordon. The fact it's in a derby helps as well. For me, is that goal of the season? It's just the dip on it. I don't know. It was a perfect. Tell you what, it was near a perfect shot. Couldn't really ask for much more. But yeah, it's the goal that won the game, and it's a goal that deserves to win any game. Bashuri then headers wide. Dwight Gale scores an offside goal, clearly offside. And then, as John Robertson said on BBC Sports Sound or whatever, you expected Hearts to create one like last gasp opportunity. They created nothing. Critchley made subs, but nothing changed. And yeah, it was a good Edinburgh derby, but I think in the last 20 minutes, man, Hearts created nothing. Only one team looked like scoring. That was Hibs. And we move on. Hibs move into third. I don't expect them to look back. Now, as I'm about to wrap up this review, Aberdeen and Dundee United's kicking off. Maybe one of these two will go into third. Can Dundee United... Well, if Dundee United win 4-0, or if it needs to be 5, they can go into third. Obviously, if Aberdeen win, they go into third. I wouldn't be surprised if this is Hibs in third to the end of the season. Definitely would have been. Definitely won't be surprised. And obviously up next for them, they have got Celtic at Parkhead. And as I said at the start of this video, I mean, I don't think Celtic fans will be worried, but there's one team in Scotland you don't want to face right now, and it is Hibs. I mean, the form doesn't lie. You know, the best run they've been on since 1949. And when teams are on those sort of runs, you don't want to play them. But all good things must come to an end. And I wouldn't be surprised if a certain team ended it next week. But yeah, today, Hibs, party mode. They can't complain. Hearts, they can a bit.